Are we good? Are we live? It looks like we're live. Excellent, excellent. Oh God, I love those lights. Should have worn my sunglasses inside. Hey, welcome everybody, and thanks for being here this week at Ignite. Quick show of hands, everybody see the keynote this morning? Excellent, my work here is done. I'll see you later. My name's Stephen Boyle. I have the pleasure to run the SI Advisory Management Consultant portfolio for Microsoft, and I also as you can tell from my accent, I'm originally from the United Kingdom, so if anybody has challenges with my accents, I'll translate for you later on. I'm going to take about 15 minutes and just set the scene, and then I've got two great people who are much more in-depth, and hopefully you'll get a lot more knowledge from as we go through the day. So I'm going to bring Maisa Penha, who runs my Cloud Solution Architect team, and Justin Slade, who does an awful lot of skilling and enablement. And at this juncture of where we are in the industry and what you saw in the keynote this morning, I think you'll probably agree that what we do around build with and what we do around skilling, training, and enablement is really critical at this juncture. So let's kick it off. That's me. I've already told you who's coming on stage, and I think I've already told you what the agenda is. So we're going to talk a little bit about partnering and how we empower what Judson talked about on stage this morning. I think that goes without saying. That's obviously going to be our mantra and our talk track and what we want to talk to you guys and ultimately to our customers about for the foreseeable future. How we're investing in making sure that you have that right skill set. Semi-interesting story. I'm what Microsoft likes to call a boomerang. So I was here 2014 to 2018. If any of you are familiar with that era, for want of a better phrase, we were very much laggards in the cloud industry. We were very much catching up with AWS. We don't worry about that these days, but the similarities to where we are now with the agentic world that we're all figuring out what to do with and how to get our arms around and how to make sure that our customers go in the right direction is very, very similar. So that's why I've got Maisa and Justin to back me up. I'll tell you a little bit about some success stories, some resources that we've already built and more that we will need to build as we go forward. And then my final ask is please make it interactive. There is a microphone here in the middle, which I would encourage you to use so that the people who are listening remotely can actually hear you as well. But I really want this at the end to be an interactive session, and I want to hear what you think it's like working with Microsoft and what we can do to make that better going forward. Make sense? Excellent, excellent. So simplistically, this is how I think about my job at Microsoft. And especially at this time, I'm going to keep referring back to Judson's keynote because many of us saw it honestly for the first time. I saw some snippets leading up to this morning, but that was the first time I saw it end to end. So we're a little bit in a period of learning together, joining our talk tracks together in new and different ways. But what I need to do with all of you in the room and all of our joint customers out there is to innovate and to build together and to use all of the tools and the solutions and the platforms that you saw this morning to build better solutions for the agentic future that we're all in, and to build what we've been calling the path or the transformation to frontier firms. And I truly do believe, we've got some very aggressive growth targets for ourselves. Why is that important to everybody in this room? Our growth targets throw out services, solutions, and everything else for you guys in the audience and ultimately for our customers as well. So I truly believe the pie is getting bigger, and I truly believe that we have yet to see the ultimate winners and losers in an agentic world. And so the opportunity is in front of us, and it's up to us how we address that and how we take advantage of that. The second thing I want to do, and this isn't always easy to do, I'm not going to stand here and tell you that everything's easy in working with Microsoft because you'd all walk out and say he doesn't know what he's talking about as a start. But I need to help you influence my sellers and influence the customers in a much more robust and aligned co-sell model. And this is like, we're here in San Francisco, so I'll use the Golden Gate Bridge. This is the example of painting the Golden Gate Bridge. What do you do when you finish painting the Golden Gate Bridge, Stephen? You start again, right? So influence and co-selling is a 7 by 24 by 365, and it's always changing and it's always iterating. We've come out with a new sales model. You might have noticed Judson's called the CEO of our commercial business now. We have a new chief revenue officer. here in the United States, we've gone 100% industry vertical, which is the first time we've approached the market like that. Not so much in Asia and in Europe, but here in the United States, you won't find a territory. In the enterprise, you will only find industry. So the concept of influence and co-selling is really important for both of us. Right? And you've heard many, many people, Nicole, our Chief Partner Officer, will say, what's the best way to engage with Microsoft? It's to engage early, to engage often, to build that and develop that trust relationship so that when you're in front of the customer, it really does sound like one voice. And I'll touch a little bit on the major ISV players and the software development companies that are also an important part of how we go to market in the industry. And then the third thing that we categorically can't do without you, we cannot implement, right? Those of you who've been around a little while, you might remember a little organization called Microsoft Consulting Services, which my first journey at Microsoft, I got a lot of grief that we actually had a consulting service. We semi-disguised it by calling our industry solutions organization, but we didn't really. But it's tiny, right? I want to make it very, 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 very clear. Right? We are never going to scale ourselves to be a large consulting services-led organization. That's what all of you are for, and that's where that opportunity comes in. Are they active? Are they going to get involved when the customer says, I want one throat to choke, Judson, and it has to be yours? Yes, they are. But there's still plenty of opportunity to partner with the ISD organization, to work alongside them, and to be that scale engine so that we can implement. We're already about a $200 billion company. Our growth is well, publicly known in all the reports that we send out there. It's high teens growth year on year. So we're constantly spinning up new opportunity, and we constantly need great partners with the right skill sets in the right places to help us implement at scale. So across that community down the left-hand side there, consulting, advisory, global, regional SIs, honestly, I don't care how big you are. I feel like the partner ecosystem is something that we've developed over many, many years. We should be very proud of it, and I'm proud that all of you are part of it. And I want to give each and every one of you a fair crack at this next opportunity that Agentic is delivering and what Judson talked about this morning. And to that end, like I said a moment ago, I don't think there's winners and losers. Now, I don't want to say, of any of my larger partners, I don't believe in you. I'm not saying that. But I think we've all been through these cycles of technology, and you think you're at the forefront of technology and things happen, and you end up not being quite at the forefront that you thought. So it's super important for me to embrace the overall ecosystem and look for those rising stars that are going to help us in this agentic world. So this is a very high-level view of what I mentioned a moment ago, our systems integration on the left-hand side and our software development companies, sometimes called ISVs. We seem to like SDC these days. I'm an old-school guy, so I'm probably going to say ISV more often. But our strategies are pretty similar. And if you're in the enterprise world, I would challenge any of us to think about a large, complex, mission-critical migration or transformation, whatever word you want to use, that doesn't embrace both sides of this chart. How many times am I going to walk into an enterprise and say, oh, you want to migrate your SAP and you're going to do it on your own? It doesn't happen. How many times are you going to move your Oracle database from an on-prem to an Oracle ODAA within Azure without the help of a really sophisticated partner being alongside that customer for the journey? So for me, our enterprise partner community is the left hand and the right hand working even more closely together than they have before. And there's a gentleman on Nick Parker, our respective supervisors, leadership team called Sandy Gupta, who runs the global ISV program. And then there's another gentleman called Jason Grafey, who's running the modern agentic partners and also looking for the software natives. Remember a few years ago, we used to say born in the cloud. I guess we now say born in the AI cloud. So we need to bring those closer together and embrace the different practices across our systems integration organizations that focus on those very large. I mentioned a couple: Oracle, SAP, ServiceNow, Adobe, the list goes on, as well as evolve the next generation of agentic-based solution providers. In a little more detail, so hopefully you guys all agree, the best deployments, the best implementations, the fastest way to think about agentic AI is when you put it in an industry and you choose a line of business that's specific to manufacturing or specific to retail or specific to healthcare, public sector, and build something in that direction. You can talk to the line of business. You don't have to talk to the IT departments. You can talk to the C-suite, and you can help them understand how they can transform that business. Will we do it horizontally? Categorically, yes. But I think the biggest opportunity for us, in combination with many of you in the audience, is to bring that industry lens and really be sophisticated and knowledgeable about how we bring the solutions to market with and through an industry lens. We need to do a better job of creating agentic offers, and I look to all of you to help me understand, A, what that means. What is an agentic offer? How's it different from a simple migration offer or lift and shift or whatever else we've done in the past? And then secondly, working with my extended team, I need to make sure that Microsoft steps up and supports those offers. You'll hear a little bit about how we do build with Maisa and with Justin, but we also have to get the right financial models in place as well for that. And then finally, I've touched on it a little bit already, bring that industry knowledge together with the right ISVs. So if I'm in insurance, have I got the right insurance solutions? If I'm in retail, have I got the right retail solutions? My primary responsibility is the systems integrations aspects of how to bring those all together, but I cannot be successful if I don't bring Sandy and Jason along for the ride, and we really figure out how to do that at scale. So that's what we're trying to do at a very high level. In 45 minutes, we'll explain a little bit about it. I encourage all of you to, to ask the right questions. But as I said to you a moment ago, I'm not going to speak entirely for the next 45 minutes, which you'll be very happy about. So I'm going to ask Maisa to talk to you a little bit about a team that we've literally just created over the last 12 months, or maybe I should say recreated. And so she's going to take you through some of our build with, and then we'll pass on to Justin, and then we'll all come back out at the end and hopefully have a mixed dialogue. So thank you for your immediate attention. Maisa, hopefully you're...
Hello. That was fun.
That's
not
nice.
Planned, but
that's nice.
Thank you.
I didn't... Magic tricks. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen, for the introduction. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. After lunch, let's get some energy. So I'm here to talk about how we accelerate growth by expanding partner capabilities. And I think I'm going to start with a question that I hear all the time. That is, how can you accelerate growth in a fast-moving market, right? So in Microsoft, we believe that we need to empower our partners. As you all know, partners are in the heart of Microsoft, right? We have the biggest ecosystem on the planet. And we really believe that we need to provide the tools and the right expertise to the partners to help them grow and to accelerate. And I'm going to talk about two key investments. The first one is global technical resources. We call PSA. Who has heard about PSA before? Cool. So they are the partner solution architects, and they are here in Microsoft to support you. They are global resources and are here to support you to build new solutions, to build new IPs, to build or update your practices or your offers, depending what the model of the business you are developing your application for. Other than help you build, they also help you with the first 3 wins, because we need to make sure that whatever we build together is going to be sold. That's the objective, right, for everybody here. And the second one is the skilling investments. Justin, as Stephen already presented, is going to go into the details about what we have now to offer to our partners on skilling. But it goes to the full life cycle, full sales life cycle, since the building skills for pre-sales through delivery. So he's going to give you all the details about that. So going deeper to the PSAs, we have built since January this year a global network of PSAs around the world. So we have teams in Asia, in Americas, in EMEA. And why? There is a strong reason for that. In the past, we had PSAs, but in a different model. Why we are doing this change and why they are global resources? because we needed to help our GSIs in the way they operate as well. So no matter where you build your agentic AI solution, you are going to have a PSA to support. And most of the times, this solution is replicable in other areas like Asia or EMEA. So you don't need to work with a different team that never helped you to build the solution in the first place to try to understand from scratch and to try to help you sell. The same team is going to help you to the whole process. I have one example of that I think it is the second main factor. It's really support you as well on this scalability. Reuse your assets, reuse whatever you are building. Because I have one example, I think 2 weeks ago, I have a partner that requested me very similar engagements, technical engagements from Asia and from Americas. And luckily, they have a centralized team that created this solution before in America. So when we received that request, same request from Asia, we knocked the door from America's team and say, hey, your team in Asia is requesting the same kind of requests for the same kind of solution you are building in America. Oh, really? So then they connected inside their own company as well. So that's been helpful for us in Microsoft, and for you, and for the GSIs and advisories, which are the partners this team, this global PSA team supports. As I said, you can scale and sell in any part of the world the same solution you built in a different region. On top of that, I don't know, maybe many of you are familiar with the ISC, Industry Solution Engineering team. So it's also my colleagues from kind of under the same CVP, so we also collaborate very close to them when it goes to code with. If your solution has the minimum requirements for them to engage, we can also make that bridge, so you can engage with them as well in a specific customer use case that you want. I think this is probably most of you had experience before, and they use the forward deployment engineering. That's now everybody's talking about that, right? But ISC has worked in this model for years now. Since I joined Microsoft, there was this team in place, which was 8 years ago. So it's not new for us, but my point is, if you need more than architecture and you need a code with scenario that we need developers to speed it up your solution in a very specific use case that's super innovative, you can also engage this team. So going back to what a 𝗬𝗲𝗸𝗻𝗐 building means for us in Microsoft, and for this team of PSAs. I think most of you were in the keynote this morning, and you saw big announcements like Foundry IQ, Fabric IQ, Security Copilot. All those things are new, and every event Microsoft has, there are new technologies coming in, right? It is difficult to be updated, or actually difficult to understand what's the value that this new technology can bring to your solution. So the team of PSA is the one that is going to sit with you and create a strategy or a planning on how you guys are going to work together for update or to create a new solution that you are willing to invest with. So we need the commitment from the partner side that we are going to go through this whole process of build with. You have the skill people in your team. If you don't have it, just is going to provide you more detail about how to build the capability you need. Then we are going to work in the technical part, of course. We can connect you with engineering teams. You can put your team on private previews. And also, we have this deep expertise in the PSA team as well to support your team. And we also wanted to connect the solutions you are building with the go-to-market. We have a lot of incentive programs, as you are aware of. So every time we are building a solution that we can link it with incentive program, we are going to do that, and we are going to accelerate the customer pipeline together with you. Okay. Part of the PSA responsibility is to help you with the first 3 wins of the solution that you are building. So that helps us to close the whole cycle and to have a strong commitment with you to make sure your solution are going to be successful. So here you're saying, I don't know how familiar you are with the MSAN stage sales cycle for Microsoft. So until they go to market, it's kind of a pre-MSAN, right? So we are talking about what are the solutions we're going to sell, or what are the solutions we're going to update and create the go-to-market to have the pipeline. And then we start the whole process where the PSA continues to work with you. And the last phase here is growth and optimize, of course. Like as you have the solution, how we can upsell or implement new things on top of the solution. I know you are aware that security, it's a very, very hot topic right now on this journey about frontier transformation of like GSIs, of advisors, as well as how they support our customers. And customers are asking all the time about security. How am I going to secure my data? How can I do the governance of my data, and so on. So we have something that we call like security everywhere. The PSAs started this motion as well, that it means like every cloud and AI architecture they work on, they make sure the security component is part of it, and the solutions they build has this component as part of it, according with this security solution that you may have in place, or how to connect what do you have with what Microsoft has to offer on security. Okay. And I think that's it from my side. And I'm going to ask Justin, my friend, to talk about skilling.
Thank you. Thank you, Maisa. Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Justin Slade. I have the fantastic job of leading partner skilling worldwide for Microsoft. And my goal in our short time together today is to excite you and motivate you on how we're investing to enable partners today to build the world's frontier firms of tomorrow through partner skilling. When you look at the world's developing frontier firms, the ones that are really redefining industries, there was an unmistakable pattern. They are all deeply invested in skilling, not as a side effort, but as a core operating model. We train 3.2 million partner professionals and certify just over 1 million learners every year. We do that through our live virtual trainings, our deep technical hands-on workshops, our in-person regional events, like the AI Tour for Partners. Put your hands up if you've been to an AI Tour for Partner. We've got a few hands. Excellent. If you haven't been, I fully recommend you go and check them out. They run concurrently to the AI Tour. Our workshops for Sovereign Cloud, our workshops for Azure, for Oracle, our applied skills through the Microsoft Learn platform, and through our new innovative on-demand platform called Level Up. And we do this with language and localization always front of mind as well. So the slide on the screen you can see here, this represents our GTM skilling strategy. This is a model we've been developing with many of you in the room today over the last couple of years very successfully. We use this framework to anchor the development of individual partner skilling plans that many of you and your teams are using today. But we also use this framework to inform how we go to market at scale for all partners. And the results truly speak for themselves. We know that certified partners drive 2.4x revenue growth. We also know the partners that complete project-ready workshops, in addition to the certifications aligned to those project-ready workshops, drive 4.3x revenue growth. So this is skilling at frontier velocity. It's high scale, it's high impact, and it's directly tied to partner growth. Today, many of you in this room are actually using skilling today as a strategic growth lever, not just as a tactic. And that is one of the biggest changes we've seen over the last couple of years, is the elevation of the importance of skilling. Just the email at the bottom there is our new Skilling help desk. If you want more questions or have questions, please reach out to the team. You will speak to a human at that help desk. Okay, so I thought I'd add this slide because no doubt many of you in this room are very familiar with MSEM, Microsoft Custom Engagement Methodology. Well, what I wanted to show with this slide is how our Skilling GTM framework supports MSEM. Here you can see how it directly maps to the 5 MSEM stages, ensuring partners deliver value at every step of the customer engagement lifecycle. Let me just step through it. So sales ready. This skilling motion provides solution play domain knowledge that enables partners to articulate business outcome value and capture mind share. Credential ready, certifications, applied skills. These equip partner technical teams with solution area domain knowledge to engage credibly in early discovery conversations. There is actually an certification exam session happening right next to us now. Our aim for the new tech deal ready accelerators is to enable partner tech sellers to go straight from learning about our solution plays to securing RFPs to customer solution delivery. And as I mentioned earlier, on the previous slide, Project Ready is our high demand level 300, level 400 technical workshops with labs anchored on our solution plays. The delivery teams can implement with precision and confidence at scale. This training modality particularly has landed exceptionally well with delivery teams over the last couple of years. So when you put MSEM and skilling together, you create a shared language for partners and Microsoft, driving pipeline velocity, co-sell success, and customer value realization. Okay, so let me speak briefly to just a couple of new skilling initiatives that we're developing, or that we've just launched. The Partner Skilling Hub. You can use access the AKA link on this slide, and you can access that now. This is now our single source of truth for partner skilling. We launched this in July, and we have over 50,000 unique learners on this new single source of truth for partner skilling. It's available in multiple languages, and the partner feedback on the learner experience has been really positive. Here you can access all your live virtual trainings, your localized regional in-person training, the on-demand level up platform with labs and assessment badges for course completion, anchored again on all our solution plays. You can also access our new on-demand short-form certification training with exam voucher incentives that can help you accelerate partner program designation and specialization attainment. And in December, we're going to launch a skilling agent that will enable partners and partner learners to build role-based skilling plans self-serving. Tech Deal Ready accelerators. These have been hugely popular. From December, we'll be adding more accelerators for security, Sentinel, Defender XDL. We're adding it for sales forecasting and sustainability analytics for Fabric, and we're adding them for Copilot Studios as well. This is in addition to the current Gen AI and agentic AI accelerators that we have available today. Agentic AI Copilot Skills Accelerator. This is also available, and you can access the AKA up there as well for the abstract. This is designed for partners who want a clear, practical path to help customers become frontier firms. And then finally, we have Agentic AI Partner Hackathons. There's a huge demand for hackathons in the ecosystem right now. There's a real demand for innovation through hackathons and a hackathon that is more scalable. From December, you're going to be able to access new hackathon formats that support every skill level from no code to low code to pro code, enabling a true frontier firm learning journey. So just in wrapping up, let's spend a couple of minutes. I'll just walk you through these new hackathon formats that will be available in December. We're doing this through 3 tailored hackathon models, each serving specific purpose and a maturity level. Let's talk about Hack in a Day, a one-day sprint focused on rapid hands-on technical training. Teams solve predefined business problems in a ready-made lab environment. This is perfect for quick skilling and proof of learner capability, and is a format that is really, really scalable. Hack to Skill, a multi-day marathon for those ready to go deeper on our solution plays. Participants take on complex, practice-based challenges that strengthen advanced technical readiness and customer deployment confidence. And then Hack to Build is more your traditional format for hackathons. This is a complete journey from ideation to solution. Teams collaborate to create marketplace-ready solutions and reusable IP, co-creating GTM, offerings with mentorship from our Maisa's PSA team as well. So with these frameworks, we're enabling every partner to build technical excellence, accelerate revenue, strengthen co-sell alignment with Microsoft. It's really not just about the hackathon, it's about building an ecosystem of continuous learning, innovation, and shared growth. So wrapping up, and I think I'm on time, when we bring together innovative skilling, the partner voice, and your creativity, and Microsoft AI, amazing things can really start to happen here. We're super excited about the investments we're making in partner skilling. Thank you for your time today. I will hang out here at the front of the stage at the end of the session if anybody would like to come and talk to me about the investments we're making today or give us feedback on what we're already doing. And with that, I'll hand it back to Stephen. Thank you.
Thanks, Justin. So look, I think it was really important for you to hear both from Justin and from Maisa. We are investing. We're investing at scale. We're investing in really pointy ways. And it's already, we're already seeing the value. I just left a partner meeting a few moments ago, and we were talking about a very large-scale hackathon. I'll kind of give the partner away if I tell you how many people were in the hackathon, but think hundreds of thousands of people in an 8-week hackathon. It's a phenomenal investment in the future. That same partner talked about AI Fridays, where from the very top of their organization all the way down, every single Friday they set problems that can be solved with modern AI tools. And it's just one of many ways. I remember when we rolled out 2 years ago co-pilots to what was then our MCAPs, our global sales organization that Judson was responsible for. And I know many of you think, well, it's Microsoft software, you're bound to roll it out. Don't forget, in an agentic world, those co-pilots really cost real money, right? They're consuming real tokens, they're consuming real, NVIDIA GPUs and other technology, if you like. So it was a huge investment and a huge opportunity cost for Judson to do that. But he also, very much started with the top. He started with his senior leadership team. They did executive immersion workshops. They got excited about the possibilities of Copilot, and then it flowed down through the organization. So there's very much a bottom-up and a top-down approach. You've heard a lot from Justin Maisa how we can pull that off. So I want to get to some questions, so I'm just going to touch on first Abu Dhabi Bank and the work that we did in this case with Bain. I literally could have filled this slide with user stories and great partners. And trust me, I have no favorite partners. I just chose Abu Dhabi Bank. So the largest bank in the United Arab Emirates. That's not easy to say. And we used Bain and Microsoft together to drive a complete end-to-end business transformation. We're always looking to bend the curve on innovation. If you think about how Judson talked about it this morning, we're looking at employee engagement. We're looking at how you talk to customers, how you reach customers, how you get repeat customers. Then what do you do about the business process to support everything? And then finally, how do you bend the curve on innovation? And I would say the first Abu Dhabi Bank is a great example of touching all aspects of that. And we've left behind a really strong partnership that Fab can now depend upon going forward, because like I said to you before, it's not about painting the bridge once, it's about figuring out what's next and what's next. I was in a session yesterday afternoon and somebody said, the pace of technology change is coming at us so fast, Stephen, what are you going to do about it? And honestly, my answer was buckle up. I can't stop it. And I'm not responsible for all of it. You heard a lot this morning from us about what we're doing, but there's lots of other companies and some of you in this room who are transforming the pace of how technology is being introduced to the world. And I'm excited by that, and hopefully you guys are excited by that, but it can be unnerving as well. So the more you are skilled, the more you are trained, the more you are enabled in our technology, this is really a journey that I want us to be on together. But make no mistake, things are moving fast. And like I said a moment ago, there are, the winners and losers are yet to be decided. So let's make sure we end up on the right side of that particular battle. So there's nobody standing in front of the microphone now. I wish I could offer a prize for the first person to ask a question, but I'm fresh out. And the hand immediately goes up. Excellent. Go ahead.
I have 3 questions.
Oh, I'll sit down then.
The first one about skilling. So we have SC, Upskill, Learn, 3 other new portals. And my question is, how do you see that we should manage the whole training experience for our employees?
Great question. The reason why we have the Skilling Hub is really this feedback that you're providing right now. The Skilling Hub basically is now an aggregator for our skilling offerings. So you will be able to access MS Learn, you'll be able to access the Enterprise Skills Initiative Program, all our virtual training, on-demand training, and in-person training as well. So it's a journey. We're getting there. The next step, now that we've launched the Skilling Hub, is integration with Partner Center, so that when you go into Partner Center, you'll have a Skilling Hub experience at the same time. So that's phase 2.
Can I elaborate on what he just said? In a previous life, we called it a guided learning path.
Yep.
We can call it what we like, but the Skilling Hub is going to guide that learning from end to end?
Absolutely. And when we bring the agent into the Skilling Hub, which will start in December, that will help partners and partner learners self-serve on developing skilling plans, pulling from all those different resources that have been aggregated into the Partner Skilling Hub.
Maybe I will rephrase that a little bit. I'm missing the part to have a dashboard or to be able to see like who is already skilled, which skills expired, to plan it basically. Because we have some data in a Partner Center and Insights, but only raw data, no dashboard, nothing, and they are not very accurate.
Yeah. So I know there's work happening in the Partner Center now for designations and specializations as they come up for renewal, because they come up for renewal every year. How we expand beyond that for tracking what's happening. It's almost like a unique learner ID across what we're doing and who's completed what, and providing you a dashboard to do that. That is nirvana, and that's where we'd like to get to. The first step is integration into Partner Center so we can start that path.
Sure. Okay.
More to come. Second question.
Second question. So you have been talking about SIs and advisory, but the rest of Microsoft is talking about CSP partners and ISVs.
Okay.
So what have you been talking about?
I don't like those.
But CSPs are supposed to do services, accidentally selling licenses. ISVs are supposed to build new stuff, consuming Azure. Mm-hmm. And I understood these are somewhere in between, like legacy ISVs, or?
So let me, that's another great question, and I'll try very quickly because we haven't got that much time left. So back in January, we created or recreated a 2-tier model. The enterprise, above a certain level where our strategic and majors customers reside, and then that organization that 𝗦𝗽𝗲𝗸𝗀𝗀𝗀 and Nicole, who many of you might have seen on stage this morning, run, small to medium enterprise and channel, SMEC for short, okay, because we love our acronyms. So think of the classic pyramid segmentation. The top is enterprise, the bottom half is SME and C. In SME and C, we call the Cloud Solution Provider Program our hero motion. Ralph wants to, envelope that. I think it was a $600 billion total addressable market that he was going after, and he wants to address that with the Cloud Solution Provider Program, which, as you pointed out, is taking Azure and all the other components within the cloud, adding services on top of it, and delivering it as a business outcome to the end customer. That's very relevant in the SME and C world. Above the line in enterprise, we typically lead with an enterprise agreement. We typically lead with a MAC. Some of you might be familiar with the Microsoft Azure Customer Cloud Commit, if you like. So they're 2 different commercial models, but the reality is many large systems integrators actually go quite far down into majors and even into the top end of that SME and C. And many partners who are selling in the SME and C space really want to sell into the enterprise. So there's no really easy answer to what you're describing, but the reality is I'm happy to work with partners whether they're in upper part of the pyramid or the bottom half of the pyramid. The important thing is we give them the right skills to operate in each segment, if you like. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense, definitely. Last one about the hackathon. So you have been talking about how to skill the partner, and the last slide was how to do hackathon with the customer. So is the hackathon to teach our people how to do stuff, or to teach customers how to do the stuff?
Both.
Both, absolutely. So it's to teach the partners how to deliver the hackathons, and then enable the partners to become facilitators to deliver the hackathons to their customers as well.
We do a hackathon every year at Microsoft. Many of you might have heard about it, even participated in it. I think the greatest benefit of taking that hackathon, if you like, on the road or into the customers is we already know how to run hackathons at scale. Many of our customers are not quite at that stage of evolution. And this is a technology that is best served hands-on. Right? It's best if you get your hands dirty in agentic at all different levels. So I think the concept of a hackathon, but making sure that it doesn't just stop at the partner community, we take it jointly out to our customers. Somebody in the last few minutes mentioned forward deployed engineering. Forward deployed engineering is a very narrow focus form of a hackathon, which is, I have a business process, it looks like this today, I want to transform it in this way. A forward deployed engineer can get you from point A to point B on that curve very, very quickly. And then you have to, you get it past proof of concept to minimally viable product and then ultimately to production. So there's lots of different things and words that we can use to describe how we're doing a knowledge transfer. At the end of the day, that's what we're doing, a knowledge transfer. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. My question was really just around working together as a partner. So I'm from a company called agentic. We're inner circle member in the UK. Copilot for us, we've been able to use a lot of the skill platforms, learn that really quickly. Within a year, it's become 50% of our business. It's massive for us. I think one of the things we're really struggling with, though, as a service delivery partner,
mic drop,
is there's very little information around dynamics. So dynamics for us is a big deal. It's multi-million-pound deals. The licensing revenue is massive. Where Copilot, it's not a lot of margin in it for us. So how do we get more information on that? Because even keynote today, there's no dynamics. There's very little sort of information coming from Microsoft, even in an inner circle setting.
From a skilling perspective, or just generally?
From a partnership perspective, we cannot see any product roadmap. We can't see what's happening with it.
So we have, my team has a great relationship with all the marketing BGs. We partner with those BGs to build the skilling content that I spoke to today. If you'd like to catch up with me afterwards, I can introduce you to some of the partner BG teams and point you in the direction where their portals are, where absolutely the dynamics information is there.
And then, first of all, two things. Love dynamics. Got some great people on Maisa's team and on my broader team who live in Europe and who can directly answer some of the other questions you have. I wouldn't worry too much about the fact, you might have heard Judson say, I've got 70 new product announcements, and you're going to hear about 7. We love our Dynamics business. In fact, our Dynamics business is fast growing. Charles Lamana that you saw is the head of that engineering. Thank you for being an Inner Circle member. If you come to the Inner Circle meetings, we will talk about nothing else. I promise. So for those of you who don't know Inner Circle, that's where we get our Dynamics, our higher level Dynamics partners together once a year, sometimes in Southern California. Yes, that's don't worry about Dynamics. It's front and center. It's part of our overall AI for business solutions portfolio where we think about the future of modern work. But it's great feedback as well. If you haven't heard enough this week about what we're doing with Dynamics, let's fix that.
Yeah, I think that's the big feedback for us. It just seems to be very quiet.
Always happy to visit the UK, obviously.
Yeah. Great, thank you.
Thanks a lot. Great question. Thank you.
Yeah, hi there. We're running out of time, so I'm going to be real fast. I'm a system integrator for Central Europe. We have SMC customers, but 80% of these customers are SMB. We started our skilling regarding Copilot, of course. Copilot, the paid version, and Copilot Chat. How to skill up the customers as adoption and change management. From your experience, as a next step for our skilling, what would be the next skilling phase, or what would be the solutions that we should be skilling up in terms of better serve the SMB customers, or from your experience to be a North Star partner or a frontier partner in the SMB business? Usually, these typical partners who are successful here in the US, the next step, what is the skilling for them?
Do you want to take that? You want me to take it? Okay.
Well,
You take it first.
I take it first. So the GTM framework that I spoke to is anchored on all our solution plays.
Yes.
So if you're speaking from a technical perspective, we have the whole portfolio of deep technical co-pilot skilling available now. If you're talking more from a tech deal ready, which is helping to influence an RFP build and design and ultimately delivery, we've got that as well. And if it's more about building mindshare and then moving that customer into a solution, then we've got skilling content for that as well. We are purposely now developing content for an EPS perspective as well as an SMEC and SMB perspective as well. It really depends on the next logical skilling based on what the learner has done. I referenced skilling plans. The agent that we're building into the Skilling Hub will allow us to start doing that for you. So you're going to complete a tech deal ready workshop. It'll serve up that you should be, based on what you've just completed, what that learner's just completed, we recommend you do these 3 workshops after that. So I don't have a specific answer except to say we've got a vast portfolio of skilling now and intentionally built for EPS and SMEC and SMB.
This clock says 00, so the people outside this room can't hear us anymore, but I love that question, and I hate when people say, let me answer a question with a question, but in this case, I'm going to do that. We should dig into, like, where do you see the opportunity, right? How are your SMB customers evolving? In which direction, which industry? Like I mentioned before, if there's a specific industry where you've got a propensity for the customers that you're dealing with, I guarantee we could build, like, what you should do next with those people.
Yep.
Financial services?
Yes.
Okay, so small to medium, but like they all want to be bigger.
Yes.
So like that would be a great sort of anchor to go just look at our industry advisors, what we're telling small, medium, and large, financial services customers where they should be going on that journey, and then back into the training plan from that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Come and talk to me after the session and we'll
Okay.
get the
Look,
conversation going.
we thank all of you for your time here this afternoon, for your time in San Francisco. I'll say it again, we cannot be successful without you helping us deploy these amazing new products and services that we're bringing to market. So thank you for what you've done so far and interest in journey ahead. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you.